everyone. I'm Sherry Hughes, and welcome to the 38th episode of Cincinnati Cancer Advisors Medical Minute, sponsored by Kroger Health. Today, we're so excited to have with us Renee McPhedran of Melanoma No More. She's the executive director. How are you, Renee?
I'm good. Thanks for having me.
It's good to have you here with us today, and you brought a partner, right?
I did, in crime.
Andy Kaminsky, you're the president of the board of directors of Melanoma No More, and we're happy to have you here as well.
Happy to be here. Thank you, Sherry.
Thank you. And your group is really a group that is formed to help melanoma patients, of course, know more about melanoma and know more about skin cancers. Before we get into skin cancer and melanoma, because we know that May was Melanoma Awareness Month, and we know that summer is upon us, so everybody's going to be getting out there enjoying the sunshine. We're going to talk about skin cancer, but before we do that, we want to really talk about our collaborative goal as a consortium to share resources and to help with information. So with that in mind, what made Melanoma No More want to become involved with the consortium?
Well, we were delighted. We're a small organization, and to be able to partner with a group of people who are helping the community and providing resources for cancer patients was an absolute definite yes.
And Renee, tell our viewers, what exactly do you all do at Melanoma No More, a little bit of the history of how your organization came together.
Certainly, we do education, prevention, awareness, research, and support for patients for melanoma. So our organization was started in 2007 by Dr. Philip Lemming, who is a fabulous Cincinnati oncologist, a dermatologist, Dr. Susan Kendall, and a family member who had a brother with cancer, Michelle Sonoma. So the organization was started to help fight the disease, but mostly to try to educate, and prevention is the key.
Yes, it is.
And even melanoma is such a deadly cancer, but if it's caught early, it's highly preventable and highly treatable.
Yeah, I've read that 1 in 5 people will be diagnosed with some form of skin cancer in their lifetime.
Exactly. But if you catch it early, it's easily treatable and easily preventable.
Right. And so that's what we try to do. We try to make sure that people know that, you know what, they have to stay on top of their health, and they have to do everything they can to find these cancers early on, because we have the best outcome when that happens. Andy, I want to bring you into the conversation. How many clients at this particular point does Melanoma No More serve annually here, of course, in the tri-state?
It's tough to put an exact number on it because we have so many different types of services we provide. With respect to one of our primary services, we have free monthly skincare screening clinics throughout the greater Cincinnati area. We partner with 4 local hospital groups, and we have licensed dermatologists providing free skin screenings on a monthly basis, kind of throughout the greater Cincinnati area. We anticipate that that's about $1,000 a year for that. But with respect to the other services that we provide, it's really hard to put a specific number on it because we do touch clients in so many different ways.
So I'm hearing that word free, which, we like that because we're no cost here at CCA as well. Is there any kind of cost that is incurred by folks that come to Melanoma No More for the services that you provide?
There is absolutely no cost. There is a pre-registration just due to, frankly, the amount of time that we can get dermatologists. We have to limit the number of people who are being seen, but there are no sort of income or requirements or costs or anything like that. We want to help people who may not be able to get in otherwise, whether it be due to time or economic constraints.
So, Renee, Andy mentioned some of the different services. How are you all funded there? And again, reiterate some of those key services, because there are people that are listening right now that are saying, hey, wait a minute, can I go there and can I get some help for this type of skin cancer? How are you funded though, and how does that work for the folks that come
Strictly
to you?
Through donations, and some grants. We are privately funded, and we'd love to support. The idea is to provide the free services so that everyone can have an opportunity to not have this, horrible disease,
And skin
negatively
cancer,
impact their life.
exactly. Skin cancer is actually one of the most common forms of cancer in the U.S. And with skin cancer, there are 3 different types. We know melanoma, as you said, the most aggressive, but there are other cancers as well. The squamous cell, I believe, and there's also the basal cell.
Right.
Those 3 make up skin cancer. Do you all get people that tend to exhibit all 3 of those, or are you seeing more of the melanoma?
Well, we are strictly focused on melanoma, but the skin screening clinics that we do would be able to provide medical directive to whatever it is that the dermatologist.
And when
Just
when a dermatologist notes something at one of our skin screening clinics, they're able to expedite that patient into a more thorough evaluation, which oftentimes might take 6 months or 9 months to get in a regular time frame. But because we have a licensed dermatologist who has identified an area of concern, they're usually able to get in within a week.
And Andy, earlier you were telling me that you have a direct connection to melanoma.
I do. My mother, when Melanoma No More was looking for their first executive director, joined the board due to her HR experience. They wanted to have someone who had hiring, recruiting experience to help them through the process. They'd never had an employee before. And this is approximately a decade ago. And she joined because people knew that she liked to be involved in the community. There was no personal connection to melanoma. She was diagnosed with melanoma, ironically perhaps, in 2014, and after numerous different treatments and remissions, ended up passing in 2017 from melanoma. And in 2018 is when I joined the board and took her board seat.
So now you are, you're fighting in memory of your mom as well to help others be educated on this, and you have that first direct account of how important it is to get this information out, and how important, Renee, it is to get the screenings. Are there screenings that are ongoing at this particular point in time that you could tell folks about? Because I think, the awareness of cancer and skin cancer is year-round, but it is even heightened during the summer because everybody's going out and people are forgetting the sunscreen. So what screenings do you guys have that are available for folks in the community?
We
now?
have monthly screenings. They're on our website, and they're at area hospitals. And we are happy this year to add one in Indiana. So you can just get on our website to, to register for the clinics. We also just did one for lifeguards. This past, actually last week with a new partner, just to try to do outreach to some of the younger folks.
Yeah, because you have a lot of folks getting out there to the pools now.
Exactly.
And so are you screening children, or is there any age requirement per your screenings?
There's not an age requirement for screening, but children generally are not at a huge risk. You just want to prevent them from getting sunburned because they'll develop it 30 years later. One of the new initiatives that we've started, we're in partnership with Swim Safe Pool Management.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Love this program. We are deploying sponsored sunscreen dispensers at the pools they manage. So again, talk about collaboration and partnership. They needed sunscreen. We needed someone to maintain, and deploy the sunscreen. So we're going to do 3, and we have 9.
Wow.
So we're very excited about that particular program.
You're action oriented as we
We're
go.
We're very
into
action
summer.
oriented, yes.
Yeah, and so Andy, as a board president, what's some of the more pressing things that you're looking at now in terms of the community that people are just, that they're forgetting or that they're not focusing on when it comes to melanoma?
I think that a lot of the issues come, as Renee talked about, with younger people, the focus really needs to be on prevention. And it's difficult because the effects are not seen until 30 years later. Most melanoma, or a significant portion of melanoma, please don't quote me, I'm not a medical professional, is due to sun exposure and sun damage before the age of 20. However, the effects don't show up until you're potentially in your 40s, 50s, even later, but the damage is done, it's irreversible at that point in time. So it's really important for us, and that's why we have screening clinics. That's why we have sunscreen stations, because if you do go out to the pool and you forget your sunscreen, you don't say, okay, I'll get a little bit extra sun today.
Right.
That we have those resources available for people, because really you don't want to be damaged and do something when you're 18 and bulletproof that is going to hurt you down the road, and you're never going to be able to reverse.
And you know what, you're talking about sunscreen, and one of the myths is that people of color like myself, that you know what, we don't get skin cancer. That's not true. We do. So you're trying to get this information to all areas of the population because it's that important for everyone.
Absolutely, and it's the education. I have a 16-year-old, and if you start early, you want to create good habits. Andy has a 6-month-old. So we are obviously committed to making sure we instill good sun safety habits in our children.
And I think I was telling you guys, I grew up in right off the coast of Charleston, South Carolina, and growing up as a kid, swimming and going to the beach all the time, we're always slathering on the sunscreen.
Yeah.
How important is it to continue to reapply sunscreen while you're out in the sun?
Absolutely.
Or at the beach or pool
You need
or
to
whatever.
do it every 2 hours, and try to stay out of the really intense sun during the, noon, or wear SPF clothing or hats. You can certainly, we don't want anyone to be a vampire. You can certainly enjoy the sun, but just do it smartly.
Smartly. Do you have any upcoming events that you have out there, Renee, that you want to tell people about?
We would be delighted to tell you about that. We are celebrating our 15th anniversary, our crystal anniversary. Yay. So Thursday, September 29th at Kenwood Country Club, we are having our 15th anniversary Music for Melanoma Celebration Gala. So we'll be honoring our founders, and one of them happens to be hugely connected to Boogie Woogie Piano. So we will have top, probably with COVID, top musicians from the United States coming to perform, as well as we'll honor our founders, raffles. It'll be
And when
a
is that
lovely
again?
event. September 29th. All the information is on the website, and we'd be happy to answer questions or register you.
Okay, well, I want to thank you very much, Renee, and also Andy, for being here with us. Is there anything that we didn't ask you that you want to make sure you get out there to people that are listening in on this podcast?
I think we appreciate the time, Sherry, and we'd love for people to check out our website. We have links to resources. We have screening guides. You'll see when our monthly skin screenings are, and please just take precautions.
Yes.
Be preventive, be safe.
Take precautions, certainly, because summer is here, and you know what? You have to protect your skin. We want to thank you so much, Andy, for being here, and Renee as well. And we want to thank all of you for joining us this week on our Medical Minute podcast. Don't forget to continue to help us get the word out there and let people know that there's information here on Medical Minute. And, of course, we will see you again next week on Wednesday with another edition of our podcast. Have a good one.